everybody, it's Nym and welcome back to the Italian zoo, which I had a name for. I called it Casalogna Zoo. I decided between the last voiceover and the trailer that I made. If you haven't seen the trailer, make sure you check it out. I believe it will be linked at the end of this video, and otherwise it is one of the first videos you go through when you're on my account, so it will be fine. Anyways, we're back with part 2 of the tiny zoo. Zoo 2, that rhymes. So today we are finishing their plaza. Well, almost finishing, it's not completely finished yet. And we are actually building some buildings, and we are making not one but 2 habitats. One for our P-file and one for our hippo. But before we do any of that, we first have to build a trade center, otherwise obviously we don't have any animals. So here we are building a trade center. Now I'm going for a lot of these like facade houses, so there aren't, proper houses, duh. And I actually feel like it looks quite nice. I wanted to go for this little cabin style that could also work as a, I don't know what to call that, like this little house where you have to pay like money to go through. You have them on the French highway as well. I can't remember the name. Anyways, that. We're building that, and we're actually using the shutters, and they're really nice, and we painted them red. I love the shutters in Planet Zoo. They're amazing. Even like the little detail, the little clips of the shutters, like you can actually close it. So it's really cool. I'm really happy with that they have it. And obviously we are planting in some grapes because, we're in grape country. We're gonna need to do that. Imagine having this entire zoo with a vineyard. See, I remembered. A vineyard around it and then not having a grape thing. That's just weird. I also made this little railroad crossing. I had no clue how to do that. I just know that they are there. Obviously, they're not really functional and people can still get hit by the train. But that's just technicalities. That doesn't really matter, like, yuck. Look, here we are with the building I was talking about last time. Look at how amazing it's going to end up. I hope. I mean, roofing it was actually awful, so I cut that out. Just like placing most of the walls, because it was so darn awful to place them all. It was literally insane. Like, honestly, I've never had such a hell in roofing something. And, it's because of the weird shape, because it wasn't a perfect square or a perfect rectangle. It was just weird, so... we're gonna leave that. First, we're gonna build this little pond using some of the reeds and some flowers, and in a minute we're going to add some stones and a little waterfall texture. I mean, we only have like one massive waterfall, and waterfall's kind of my MO. I love waterfalls, so we're gonna need this little tiny waterfall bitty there, like water going out of a rock. It was necessary, okay? Just believe me on that. I mean, look how pretty it looks. And I'm matching it with finished surroundings, because, then it's really pretty. At least I thought it was really pretty then, so. Yeah, and in the end it is my zoo, so I guess that's what's important. Yes, when you accidentally put everything into one building, because you don't remember that you're building in a building. Happens to me so much, it's really annoying. I can't be the only person who would have that. Now we are finishing up the plaza, we're finishing some flags, and I realized that the light pole was actually way too low. So, just raise it up, place some rocks down, and there you go. It's done, it's fine. I mean, that's being creative with solutions. Honestly. And we built this little chief burger, or chief beef there, which I quite liked. I mean, I quite like it. Obviously, it's not gonna stay a red, because the red was just too awful with the red that we already have there. So in the end, I changed it to yellow. And here we are building. I mean, the building of the walls was kind of okay, and then we are going to go to this little balcony's edge I have, if you want to call it like that, which I actually really like, and I should have used that more often because this looks fancy. At least in my mind it looks really fancy, so I'm really happy that we used it. And then we went to the roofing, which is awful. So we ignored that bit. Yeah, and this was when I didn't remember that you could just turn off escapes in, what's it called? Sandbox mode. So I was doing my work with elephant grass, placing it all around. So I was like, yes, I need to place this elephant grass everywhere to make sure these peafowls don't escape. And then when I was building the deer habitat, I was just like, oh wait, I can turn this off. That's actually way easier. Just turn it off and they won't escape, and you don't really have to take elephant grass in consideration. So the elephant grass is going to be deleted in a few episodes because I don't know what I was thinking. I really don't. Also, did you see me doing that with the drink water, like do not drink? I thought it was really clever and quite realistic, if I say so myself. Because whenever I go to a zoo, there's always this fountain somewhere in the middle of the zoo. And it's like drinking water. You're like, oh, I can fill my water bottle here. And then it's this little sign that says, do not drink this water. And you're like, what? Now I have to go look for a toilet and fill my water bottle there. And there's always an incredible line with all these women in front of a toilet. Like, what is that with women in zoos? The moment they enter, they all go to the toilets. Like, every single time. And normally I just... I don't have to go to the toilet, I just want to fill my water bottle. And then you can't walk past them, because then they get like, oh, there's a line. I'm just like, well, it just needs water. And then I have to stand in line for like half an hour to fill my water bottle. I mean, by that time you actually have to go to the bathroom, so, But still, it's annoying. And they should have like normal faucets in the zoo to have like fill your water bottle. Actually, in the city where I was born and raised, my hometown, we actually have that in the marketplace. There's like this big faucet in the marketplace, so you can just click it and then water comes out. It's actually water you can drink, to prevent people from going into all the shops for just the toilets to fill their water bottle. It's just, and it's also promoting a healthy lifestyle with drinking water. I mean, I personally love water. It's like my favorite drink to drink. I mean, I love tea as well, don't get me wrong, and it probably has something to do with the fact that I'm allergic to sodas. Because the carbonated water, I can't stand that. It just gives me an awful rush, so. That's probably a good thing, because a lot of people struggle with drinking too much soda. I don't. I think it's very sweet and I don't really like that. Yikes. I noticed that a while, like I don't eat that much chocolate anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore. And I ate a Kit Kat the other day and it was so sweet. I was just like, yikes, it's too sweet. What is this fresh hell that I'm living in? It wasn't good. That can't be just me, right? It probably is, but oh well. Ah, yes, the wisteria on this building. I mean, doesn't it look way better now that all the red's a little bit covered up? It still reminds me of McDonald's though. But they're even in here, placing some of these vine branches. I feel like it finishes the entire zoo. I mean, I think it looks a lot better, and I really like that. Ah, yes, and the flags. I mean, we had flags everywhere, so it was still part of the plaza. So I just had to put some flags in there in actually the color of the Italian flag, so I thought it was really clever. No, probably just me again, but I thought it was like, this is such a clever idea. I don't think a lot of people would have noticed it if it wasn't for me saying it, but still, I thought it was a really clever idea. And here we do what I love most, like landscaping. This is really my gif. I like this. I love this so much. I would love a game, Planet Botanical. Just a botanical garden. That's what I would love, with butterflies. Actually, I want butterflies in Planet Zoo as well. I want to be able to build like this butterfly room. It'd be so cool. Perhaps I will do that in my franchise mode. If you didn't know, I also have a franchise mode to my channel, so, check that out as well. It will be linked at the end of this video. But I would love that, just a butterfly room. I'd really like that. Same with birds. I want to be able to make like bird shows and aviaries. I love that. That's probably too much for us. We're probably never going to get that, and, whatever. It's fine, even though it's not fine. It's probably very difficult to make. So I'm not a game developer, so I don't know a lot about it. But, I'm guessing the reason we don't have it is because it's difficult. That's really the only purple reason I can think of. So anyways, let's go back to the actual video, because otherwise I'm just ranting here and talking about nothing. Which, to be fair, is quite common, but still... Whatever. Right now we are building a Italian farmhouse. And, not like farm, but more like this shed or this barn where it is like storage and it's on the land of the farmer, sort of like that. And it's actually our shelter for our hippos. And I know what you're thinking. Hippos in an Italian town zoo? What Italian town has hippos? Well, probably none of them. But that's irrelevant because I had a lot of water and I wanted hippos. Actually, I wanted alligators, but I thought, that could be a little bit brutal, and they definitely don't live in Europe. And hippos don't either, but still. My reasoning is very logic, as you can all hear. I mean, the logic is there somewhere. In my mind, there is logic. When I explain it, there probably isn't. And that's fine. I mean, whatever. Look, here's the toilet that I talked about, like last episode. I built a toilet block here. And I was lucky that it goes in there. So, now people can go to the toilet. Because what I didn't realize was that this zoo didn't have any toilets up until now. And some of the guests were like, oh, I hate that there isn't a toilet available. And I was just like, excuse me, there are toilets. And then it turns out there wasn't. Look, and all the people just running towards the toilet like, there's a toilet, must go. And they're probably all women with children. See, look, there's a woman with a child. They always use the toilet, there's always incredible lines. Is this sexist? I don't know, I'm female myself, so I'm gonna guess like it's not sexist, and otherwise, whatever. Welcome to the world. Yes, and these trees, don't these trees make it look so much more Italian? I mean, that can't be just me. I mean, I really feel like if this is Italian countryside feel. I love it. And now we are just, making some enrichments for the hippos. And you can see, the white plaster that I put in the water. Otherwise, the hippos weren't able to go under the water. Even though there wasn't a very steep railing, somehow I still had to build that, so I did. And now they were happy to go underwater, so, that's fine. Completely fine. I also realized that hippos actually weren't able to go in there, so I had to remove one of the walls. I made sure the daddy hippo could go in there because he's the biggest, and if he fits, the other ones fit as well. And actually, in the end of the zoo, I have a few baby hippos as well, and they're so cute. I really like them. I mean, just imagine standing here, by the way. You know how amazing that is. It'd be so cool to have like this zoo that I built be a real life zoo. Perhaps I should be a zoo designer. I mean, it's pretty cool. Obviously, then I should take welfare of animals into consideration and their ability to escape. And I'm guessing elephant grass won't work on the real animals. I mean, be surprised if they were, wasn't it? They're just like, oh no, elephant grass, can't cross now. That'd be pretty cool. And pretty creepy as well. Making sure the needs of the animals are good, because I still want happy animals, even though it's a sandbox and I turned all their animal welfare off. I still want them to be a little bit happy. I feel like that's a little bit normal as well. Now, I didn't want to put any grapes or anything on this white bar. I was just like, you know what, it's white enough. It's really an eye catcher. And I don't want to ruin it, ruin it by using vines on there and grapes. Also, I can hear my voice getting worse and worse. Wow. Yeah, I was also just wondering if the train could actually go through there. Luckily it can. So here we are going to do a staff building. Now, the staff building is something rather special. The staff building is actually going to be this big farm, and like a proper farm this time. And I really quite like the way that it ends up looking, so I hope you guys like it as well. So we use the European stone. I was wondering what all this was. We use the European stone and we're making it a little bit of a yellow sand color. Oh, you can hear my cat. Hi? Sorry about that. We're using this little bit of a yellow sand color. And I feel like it looks really, Italian. I also found this picture of an Italian farmhouse. I was like, you know what? Yeah, this is what I'm going to recreate, given my own interpretation of it, of course. And I really like the way it ended up looking. It is quite big. I mean, it's also on the Steam gallery, so you can just, look it up and it will be there. Now, and in the end, we are going to change this up because now we are building this tower, and right now it's not a perfect square. And in order for the roof to work, it needed to be a perfect square, so we're gonna fix that in a minute. You know, we're building the rest of the house. We're gonna get, well, obviously not going to build the interior, but we are going to pretend that it has an interior and there are like a lot of rooms. And I actually really like the way that it ends up looking in the end. I mean, there we are gonna start with the roof, obviously our clay roof in our traditional orange styles. You know, making sure that it looks properly first and then just easy copy paste it over. There you go. Also, I don't know if you can hear it, but my cat is actually standing on my head, which is kind of annoying. Cat, what are you doing? Yes, thank you. Now it's really starting to take shape. And then I realized, well, actually it needed to be a square, so, you know, copy and pasting it over, making it a little bit more square, using the big roof. Yes, this big roof. And making sure that it actually looks really nice. And I'm so happy with the way that it looks already, because I feel like it's really giving that vibe that I wanted. And I was thinking, you know, should I use these corner bits? And I was like, yes, I should use these corner bits. So, you know, it's the tiny detail, but it really finishes the entire build. And I feel like in the end, it's really, you know, it finishes it. It makes it look like a proper building and not just something you build in Planet Zoo and it's just not there. You see, I mean, just a little edge, it gives that little bit of extra that it needs. And I'm really happy with the way that it looks. And I'm gonna keep saying this, but wow, I'm amazed with my own building styles, really, because I never ever built buildings because I didn't think that I could do that. But looking at this, I was like, well, you know what? I sure as hell can do it. And it looks pretty darn good, even if I say so myself. Hoping you guys will feel the same way about that, and that actually looks good. I mean, I think it looks good, and that's really all that matters because it is my zoo. So here we are making sure that these people that live here actually have a railing. I mean, can you imagine having a balcony without a railing? It's just not good. And obviously this building is part of the vineyard, so we needed some vines there and some wine grapes. That was the word that I was looking for. And now we're just making sure that it looks actually like a proper farm, not just a random building in a zoo. You know, so we're adding some plants, gonna add some stones in a minute as well to the water and some reeds. Just, you know, because you see that a lot, you know. Also what you want to do with stones is, you know, rotate them. I should probably explain this more often because I say like, oh, you know, just rotate it, blah, 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 blah. One day I'll do a video about it, I promise. Maybe, someday, one day. Who knows? If I remember. Because my memory is failing me a lot, so... Yikes. Ah, yes, here we are just making the entire staff path. And I was making all this stuff, and then after this video finishes, I actually realized I could have just made this normal pathing and then somewhere along the line put a staff path. There we go. Now we are just making sure that the path looks nice with some bushes or hedges, and they really look nice, even though it is my humble opinion, but I really like the way it looks. Anyways, we are slowly getting towards the end of this video, so if you liked it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. This video is part of a series. The first episode was already was already on my channel, so you can check that out if you haven't yet. And the next episode will be out shortly after this. I'm excited, I hope you guys are too. And, you know, as always, let me know what you guys think. Tips, tricks, things you like, things you didn't like. Let me know in the comments down below and I can work on that. And that's it for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you have a wonderful morning, evening or afternoon, wherever you are in this world. Bye, guys!